Hi, welcome to this week's FAQ Friday. We're here with Blaine Kortemeyer, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the completion of this great monument in our state, Mount Rushmore.
The memorial, when it was completed, it was actually shut down on October 31st of 1941. Following some problems with funding, as America is getting ready to jump into World War II, the money was beginning to dry up from federal dollars. Borglum actually was on his way to Washington, D.C. to try and get more funding. He stopped off in Chicago to have prostate surgery. And it was there that he actually dies of a heart attack, an aneurysm, just a couple days later on March 6th of 1941. Now, if he had gotten to D.C., he was going to be told that there were no more funds. So the word gets back, of course, to Mount Rushmore that the sculptor dies and the money is beginning to dry up. And so Lincoln Borglum, the son of Gutzon, who found the mountain with his father at a very young age, shut the mountain down as he knew every job here at the memorial. He shut the mountain down with the monies that were left, what would have been the summer of 41, and they actually shut her down, as I mentioned, on Halloween 1941.
Great. So, wait, did all the presidents get completed at once, or were they done one at a time?
Sure. Well, the process of carving really is an order of priority for Gutzon Borglum. Gutzon Borglum believed that the first priority was George Washington. He was chosen, of course, for the birth of the nation, and he was always scheduled for where we see him on Mount Rushmore. The second priority was Thomas Jefferson. He was chosen for the expansion of the nation, purchasing the Louisiana Territory. He was not chosen for the Declaration of Independence. So the reasons why what I'm quoting here now are Borglum's reasons, and Borglum's choices for the mountain. He made the decisions as to who would go on the mountain and why they would go on the mountain. So Jefferson, the first Jefferson, was actually on Washington's right. There was an idea, the first original idea of Mount Rushmore was only three presidents. Washington, where you see him, Jefferson to Washington's right, and Lincoln was going to go where Jefferson is today. But when the first Jefferson failed, Jefferson being the second priority only to Washington, they put him on Washington's right. Location failed, so they shifted Jefferson to where you see him today, which was supposed to be Lincoln's spot in the original idea. With that transition, Jefferson pushing Lincoln to the end, then there's actually a spot for Roosevelt. Roosevelt was not originally in the beginning idea of the memorial. So Washington for the birth of the nation, Jefferson for the expansion of the nation, Lincoln for the preservation of the nation through the Civil War, obviously, and Theodore Roosevelt for the development of the nation into the 20th century. Those are the reasons why Borglum chose those four. And they had individual dedications. As I mentioned in a previous podcast, that there were two dedications before they ever started working. Borglum loved to have dedications. He loved to get people out here on the site to spread the word, spread the good news of Mount Rushmore. So there was a dedication for each individual president. They revealed them with an amazing flag. And those dedications were in 1930 for Washington. Thomas Jefferson was 1936. Lincoln was 37, and Theodore Roosevelt was 1939.
Okay. And was there a big dedication when the whole mountain was completed?
Sure. At
this point, when it got shut down in October?
Well, you'd think that something of this stature would have a final dedication, but actually it didn't. With Borglum's death, the mountain shutting down, and then us jumping into World War II, that whole time frame, there was no dedication. There wasn't actually a final dedication until 50 years later, at the 50th anniversary. So that would have been 1991 approximately. I think it actually is 1991 with George Bush Sr.
But I'm glad they did it. All right, thanks for your time today, Blaine.
Pleasure.